Saturday. What's the date? June 20th, 2026. The time is 10:35 a.m. And I titled this one from you can see what these video witnesses had to say about Carmelo Anthony. What these video witnesses had to say about Carmelo Anthony. And funny thing, and I don't believe in coincidences. I don't believe that it was just a coincidence that out of all the days, all the days, one more time, out of all the days for them to release the footage, they chose yesterday. They chose yesterday that was considered Juneteenth, a celebratory birthday for, not birthday, celebratory day for Black people, some would say, right? So, one thing you got to understand about this system, it is extremely calculated. It just doesn't do things. Even though you have a president that just does things, it's still planned out somewhat, if that makes sense. Right? And one thing I noticed about watching the video that they released is that you really can't make heads or tails of what's actually going on in the footage that they released. But one thing they made sure to do, now in the copy that I saw, they had an orb light on Carmelo. They made sure that when he was running away, right, to put an orb light on him. And you see him doing several things. You see him stopping to talk to people. You see him, he talked to, look like several adults. I don't know, maybe he was letting them know what happened, right? But at least from the video that I saw, how come they didn't have an orb light on the Metcalfs? How come they didn't have an orb light on them? How come they didn't show them the entry level? See, even be careful still with what they're showing you, because they're still showing us what they want us to know, right? So this is like kind of like a here, throw them a bone. You guys said you want the footage. Here's the footage. But notice it's still grainy. Now, if you look at that grainy video, now put yourself in shoes. Don't put third person or a third party. Put yourself in that very same situation. And your freedom hanging the ballot on a video like that. Would you say that that video is clear enough to come away with a clear conclusion of your freedom? Hmm? Based on that video that you saw, that grainy video that you saw, you don't we couldn't really tell what was going on under the tent. Based on that video that you saw, would that be enough if you were in a situation? Cause see what it is, a lot of y'all can't put yourself in the situation. A lot of y'all don't know how to put yourself in the situation, and you put your adult mentality from the outside looking in on a young man that was in a situation. Notice everybody say, well, he should have just walked away. This is what always have burned me about this. Carmelo Anthony should have just got up and left. He should have just got up and left. Right? But nobody say, why did he have to approach him? See, this is the one side of America that I continue to talk about. As the racists come in my life, they can't help themselves. Right? See, they're drawn to not knowing how to mind their business. Yeah. But anyway, would that be enough for you to say, I'm okay with that video if your freedom is on the line, not nobody else's? Because see, the rules change when it's you. It's like in Friday when Red say, why y'all didn't help me? And Craig tell him, he say, well, you know, why you didn't help me that time he was trying to choke me and smoke out back? He said, oh, that was different. And that's the perspective and the mindset that most of y'all live in, that it's different until it's you. It's a desensitized situation until it's you, right? Right? See, I'm not gonna pay attention to the haters because that's what they there for. I told them I appreciate them in some weird way because guess what you do? You push me out into the algorithm. But let me play audio. And see, this is not just black people. These are just people. Listen to the audio of the people that witnessed the video. Now, for the racists in the back and the rednecks in the back, the first person I'm going to play you will you tell by the voice.
I just wanted to make sure he got justice. This was ridiculous. Yes. He shouldn't. He was wrong in what he did in bringing a knife, but he never killed that child. He failed. Yes. He fell on him, and the knife was. He had the knife in his hand.
Well, it wasn't a knife.
What was it?
It was a tool that they tightened up that track cleats with.
Now notice you hear the other person say it wasn't even a knife. Now this elderly woman said she wanted to make sure justice was served, right? But notice the other person said he didn't bring a knife. It was something that you tighten your cleats up with, your track shoes with. But let's continue.
Yeah, so he never bought a knife. So that came out in the courtroom yesterday that
It never was a knife. You want to sit down?
Now notice he's saying it never was a knife.
I want you to fall. Well, I'm not gonna fall. I'm standing. I'm not gonna fall. I'm not moving. I've got my legs wrong.
She say my legs still. Say my legs work fine.
My legs are, well, they don't, but I just want to.
Now I'm gonna play it one more time, and I see y'all. I see what y'all saying. And to that person that said just accept the fact, tell Donald Trump to accept the fact that he lost the political race because he ain't let that go. But see, don't tell me what to accept, and you got a psychotic president that's still running around talking about the election was rigged. See, that's y'all mindset. But let me play this audio again.
I'm sure he got justice. This was ridiculous. Yes. He shouldn't. He was wrong in what he did in bringing a knife, but he never killed that child. He failed. Yes. He fell on him, and the knife was. He had the knife in his hand.
Well, it wasn't a knife.
What was it?
Now he clearly says it wasn't a knife.
A tool that they tighten up that track cleats with.
Oh, is that what?
Yeah, so he never bought a knife.
Yeah.
So that came out in the courtroom yesterday that
It never was a knife. You want to sit down? I want you to fall. Well, I'm not gonna fall. I'm standing. I'm not gonna fall. I'm not moving. I've got my legs wrong.
She say my legs still. Say my legs work fine.
My legs are, well, they don't, but.
Right? Now that's just one of them. So I want y'all to understand that. And I'm not entertaining you people that says, what does this have to do with it? Until y'all can talk about 16-year-old Timothy Hudson unaliving his stepsister after R-wording her. Tell me, to that person that said Karmelo should have been taken out back after the conviction. Tell me what should happen to Timothy Hudson that unalived his stepsister after R-wording her. Right? See what y'all doing right now. Y'all are Austining out right now. Y'all Austining out. because this page is my tent, and this tent belongs to me. But yet here you are under my tent telling me your demands and telling me what you feel under my tent. See, you can't help yourself, right? Because everything is a situational view in America, right? See, long as you got the complexion for protection, then you get the benefit of the doubt. And see, you're in constant cognitive dissonance when talking to these type of people. These type of Americans are in a constant state of cognitive dissonance, and they can't help it. They love to flood and come to my page just to say that, just to put out their hateful rhetoric, and they just be typing, right? Because they want us just to sit back and watch injustice. But to them, it's justice. Now to them, the law prevailed. And when I asked the question, and I'm gonna keep talking about this, when I asked the questions specifically on my last live and my last two lives, I said, should the January 6th rioters been pardoned? And you would believe it because these are these type of cognitive dissonance, dissonant people. You could believe the type of answers that was in my comments. None of them understood criminality then because they see themselves in the aggressor. See, they see this divine right to get up and tell you where you should be. This is why they feel comfortable telling me how I should feel. Now, if I was an old hat in hand, foot shuffling Officer Tatum, if I was a hat in hand, foot shuffling Jason Whitlock, if I was a hat in hand, foot shuffling Stephen A. Smith, they wouldn't have a problem with what I'm saying because I would be singing the tune that they want to hear, right? I would be singing the tune that they want to hear. I would be an out of tune and out of rhythm black man, and they love that. You know why? Because it poses no type of opposition. It doesn't challenge in any way. See what these goofies like Charleston White, what these goofies like Stephen A. Smith, what these goofies want to do when they come out and make these bold uh, announcements. They want to let the white audience know that, hey, y'all all right with me? I'm all right. I'm one of y'all. Please don't come after me. See, Charleston White is only a threat in the black community. See, that's why he'll sit there with Aiden Ross. That's why he'll sit there with Aiden Ross. That's why he'll sit there and notice how calm he always is when he's on Aiden Ross podcast. He's never name calling. He's never out of pocket. He's never using these stereotypes. That's only for this section, right? But see, what they want black Americans to do is to just sit back and take whatever they say, right? Here, Donald Trump is destroying the country and betraying a lot of them that ride for him, but they're too stupid to see it because racism is stupid. See, racism is one of the most stupid, idiotic ideologies that you have because it doesn't make sense. They can never tell you the origin of it or why it even started. It's just been he say, my grandmama say, my granddaddy, my great always said, feel this way about blacks and other non-whites. To constantly project who we are off on these people. To call them violent when they behave like savages from start to midway because it ain't finished yet. Right? But to constantly project. See, that's why they love Dookie Donnie so much, because he is them and they are him. I would always say on my other platforms that Donald Trump represents the intelligence of America. He definitely represents the intelligent of racist white America. That's why he loves to say smart people don't like me. Because he knows the audience that he's appealing to is not that intelligent. That's why I always say, and I'm about to land my plane and play this last clip, and I'm gonna get up out of here. That's why I always say he loves to say smart people don't like me. Smart people don't like me. Smart people don't like me, and they still don't even. And guess what? They're too stupid to insult. They don't. They still think he doesn't mean what he's saying. They say, "Well, that's not what he mean. What he really mean? How many ways can you say smart people don't like me?" But what they don't want to understand is that they're not too smart because racism has always told them that they are the smartest ones. Let me see if I can find the other one. Proud to say whites never behave this way. See, that's that. See, that's that delusion that I'm talking about. See, you see, I get a comment that say, "Proud to say whites have never behaved this way." He obviously never heard of Ethan Couch. He obviously still is tone deaf to me talking about 16-year-old Timothy Hudson. 16-year-old Timothy Hudson that took his stepsister out, took her life. But see, this is what America has always taught them, that everything that they do is okay. But this is the last one.
And when I went to see the video, they ask you if you want to see it from either 2 minutes before the stabbing or 11 minutes before. So I chose 11 minutes. From the moment she pressed play, Carmelo Anthony was already sitting up underneath that canopy. And he was sitting there for at least 8 to 9.5 minutes. You see, well, I saw a boy in a black hoodie go over to him first, and then they left out of the tent, and then you see coming across the field was another 6 boys. When they got to the bleachers, one he went out of.
All lives matter until it's a disabled life. All lives matter until to that person that said all lives matter. All lives matter until you're talking about abortion rights. Get out of here, loser.
And the other one sat at the bottom. But the remaining four, they went directly to Carmelo Anthony. And like he said before, it was a brief conversation, and then all you see is commotion. And we know from the interviews that Hunter did, um, we know that Hunter was, in fact, up underneath that tent. The next thing you see, I'm sorry, you can see Carmelo, in the midst of them assaulting him, you can see Carmelo trying to back out, but he gets pulled back forward. The next thing
He's trying to leave, but he's pulled back forward. But let's continue.
you see is Carmelo, he comes shooting out the back, but he's still not standing. And he had to like kind of crab crawl backwards, and he had to like jerk away from them because they still had a hold of his hoodie. He goes up a couple bleachers and he's looking around for which way to go. He runs diagonally down the bleachers and then he falls. At the time of him falling, that's when I noticed another 3 boys coming down the bleachers chasing after him. But once Carmelo got up, he took off. You didn't see him for the rest of the video. Um, at no point in that video do you see Hunter holding. At no point in that video.
See, this kills the American sad story narrative of Austin holding, was Hunter holding Austin as he takes his last breath. This kills that narrative.
Do you see those boys ever going back to the tent and sitting down? That was all a lie. And I also have questions. I don't know how the defense did not play that video. Because when you see that video, it was self-defense. Carmelo was only 5'8", 130 something pounds, and Austin and Hunter Metcalf were 6'1", 220 something pounds. So for people to say that he should have used his hands, people can die from fights, from people using their hands. And That's all I can say right now.
And see, we saw. She said people can get taken out. We saw in the movie Cooley High, coaches get taken out on a punch. Right, right. See, I'm not playing the video for you bozos in the comments. I'm putting the video out there. See, that's the psychopathic nature of white America. Or racist white America. They think that they have to approve everything. Now, here are these people with their emotions and feelings in my comments disputing what people who actually saw the video said. I didn't just play you all black people. That first elderly lady was white. But she's not desensitized like a lot of you in my comments. She doesn't have an ulterior motive like a lot of you in my comments. See, your cognitive dissonance, along with the Dunning-Kruger effect, same thing I would argue, doesn't allow you to understand truth and honesty because it's not in you. It has never been in America. It's never been in America. And to you people that always say, well, you have to, know your laws. And as I always say, the laws are what? The laws are only good as the people that uphold them, people. The laws are only good as the ones who uphold them, people. See, what this administration right here have shown you is that you can assault police officers. You can attack police officers, and you can be pardoned. How come good old Americans don't talk about that? Right? And a lot of times I don't read the comments because it's just a bunch of unhinged Metcalf type energy in my comments. They'll say victim mentality while they run around and cry about the great replacement theory. They will cry about this thing called the great replacement theory, that they feel that white people are being replaced by non-whites, and if we don't do something about it, we're gonna be extinct. Because I'm white and I won't have any more rights. I won't have any more rights to invade your space like they're doing now. I told you it's a constant deflection. I don't waste time on racist white people. It's like talking to this ink pen right here. It's like trying to get a real reason out of this ink pen. Right? They don't have a good grasp of reality. They don't have a sense of empathy or compassion. You heard what Charlie Kirk. You heard what Charlie Kirk said about how he feel about empathy, but yet they want to try to make him a martyr. And see, the reason they feel like he's a martyr because much like that other loser, Chud the Builder. See, their psychopathic nature, they think freedom of speech is just saying the most inflammatory, antagonistic things to black people, Hispanics, or whoever they feel that they don't like. They feel that they should have the divine right to call you the N word and approach you, and you should do nothing. These are the people who you're trying to appeal to their sense of morality. They have none, people. They have no sense of morality. This is why they are zoophiles. This is why they are intimate with animals. See, I don't make up things. I always tell them because and the thing that I always say, the thing that I always say that these are a bunch of different people that come to my live. Every time I come to my live, they do this every time. And it's always very seldom do I see reoccurring people, right? It's always different people. But how come the energy is always the same? If they are so different, and we have all these well-meaning, well-to-do white people, how come the energy is always this? I mean, this is a constant. This is a constant. And this is how you can tell that they're almost like puppets and parrots because they say the same thing. I don't care if I'm on Twitter. Well, I'm not on Twitter, but I don't care if I'm on any other platform. And whenever I'm saying this, because like I said, if I was a Jason Whitlock, they wouldn't have a problem with anything that I'm saying. If I was a Jason Whitlock or if I was a one-eyed Charleston White up here attacking a young black man, they would come in and they would donate. They would donate to my ignorance. So it's no point, people, and I'm talking to my people. It's no point in trying to talk to people who put things in situational views. They still notice they still haven't talked about Timothy Hudson in my life. Because it's okay for Timothy Hudson to be 16 years old and do that to his stepsister. That's perfectly fine. You know why? Because he has the complexion for protection. I'm just saying. That's why I told you it's always in reverse when they say, well, why don't you people get it? Because they love to say you people. Why don't you people ever say anything when it's black on black crime, whatever that is? Why don't you guys ever say anything when it's blacks taking out blacks? Why don't you say anything when it's whites taking out whites? I had a person in my comments last night to tell me that white people are put down by the police at a more alarming rate than black people. And I told him, I said, quickly, in my comments, quickly, type me 5 white people in the last year that has happened to. In the last, I'll even give you 2 years. He said, well, I can't, but of course, because that's the nature of them. They say, just say, I say this and that's true. Well, no, it's not. It's not true. It's true because I tell you. It's almost like academic. It's almost like academic attack, right? Academic attack is that everybody knows with a good brain that Christopher Columbus did not discover America. That's just basic. That's just basic, right? But in order to pass a test, say if you have to have a perfect score on a test. Let's just say you have to have a perfect score on a test, right? And the last question on that test comes to who discovered America? And you need this 100. You're gonna have to write that lie down. But it becomes a truth because they said it. It becomes the truth because we said it's the truth. And that's the experience. The answer is never. See, it got to be a yes or no. See, we could say when, right? And it's always them. It's always the usual suspects. But keep your dog safe because these people are on the loose. That's all I got. I'm out of here.